My name is Gerald Cartwright. I go by the name of Jerry, and my rate is Radioman Master Chief, qualified in submarines. And then I got orders to the USS Spinax, one of the greatest submarines that the Navy ever put out, and the greatest crew. Great bunch of people, all of you guys. I reported aboard the Spinax, and I was first class at the time. I had this chief that was with, we had 3 or 4 other radiomen on there at the same time. On Spinax, I was a section leader. We, right after I reported aboard, we made a Westpac. That was in '65. And we hit a lot of ports on that Westpac run. A lot of good people on there. It was, first thing is just kind of getting to know the people, getting to know the boat, re-qualifying. Once you qualify on one type of boat, you go to a different type of boat, then you have to re-qualify on that. And I slept in what they call Hogan's Alley. It's an area aft behind the mess decks, back over on the port side, clear back in the corner. I slept on the bottom rack. And it's one of those racks that I'm not that big a man, but if you wanted to turn over, you'd have to get out of the rack and climb back in it the way you wanted to sleep. So it's kind of a tight fit back in there. But we, I'm trying to think, I've got so many Westpacs on my mind that what we actually did in that Westpac. I know we got into Hong Kong. I believe it was that trip that we were in Hong Kong, and there was kind of an uprising or something in Hong Kong, so they called everybody back to the ship, went around and told people, you got to get back down to your ship, and got into Kaohsiung. I don't remember whether it was that one or not. We were headed to Kaohsiung from the south, and this is in Taiwan, by the way. On the island of Taiwan, there's a couple of ports, harbors there that are pretty much the same. Kaohsiung's on the northern end of Taiwan, and this other harbor's on the southern end. We were coming from the south, and whoever was the officer of the deck turned us into this one harbor. And as we pulled in, I believe the captain recognized the fact that we're turning too soon. So anyway, he had to turn around, pull out of there, and then go up to Kaohsiung. I was section leader at the time, and we had to provide, in Kaohsiung especially, we were at several different ports in Taiwan, Keelung, Kaohsiung, and Taipei. But in Kaohsiung, we had to provide our own shore patrol. And as section leader, I decided to put myself on shore. Normally the section leader didn't stand watches, but I decided to put myself on shore patrol along with another guy. So we were out and sitting on this bench, just kind of observing what was going on and everything. And we had heard that the Chinese love to eat dog. So we were sitting there and we watched this one cook walk out of this Chinese restaurant, cooks this dog over to him, take him in the restaurant, never saw that dog again. But we went around and just, basically looked at things. There's not a lot, I think a lot of activity on Taiwan itself, but just observing the culture was interesting there. We were, of course, supposed to not be detected at any time. So when we went north through what they call the Unimak Pass, it's a kind of a rough ocean up there. It's out in the Aleutian Islands in Alaska, and we snorkeled through the Unimak Pass. But because of the rough seas, the boat had a tendency to do like this. And when you're snorkeling, if your intake valve, your intake mast goes below water, there's electronic devices on there that shut it so that you don't get water in the boat. Well, when that shuts and the engine's still running, diesel engine running, it draws a vacuum in the boat. So we snorkeled through there with that valve shutting and opening your ears, because you draw a vacuum, your ears would pop, bang, back and forth. So, and then we pulled into, on the way back from our special operation, we pulled into Adak, Alaska. And we'd been up there, I guess, probably 30 days or so. So we pulled into Adak to fuel up. And most of the enlisted men that weren't on watch went over to their EM club, enlisted men's club, to have a brew and grab a bite to eat, whatever. Somebody got this crazy idea of stealing their polar bear rug that was hanging on the wall. And one of the electricians was in charge of killing the lights, and a couple of big engine men were in charge of yanking the rug down, and the rest of us were just kind of mill around and block people from stopping them. So we never did get the rug. It killed the lights, but I don't think they ever got that rug off the wall. So then we got back to the boat and came home. So I spent 4 years on the Spinax. We did quite a few Westpacks, several operations, special operations. Spent some time over in the Gulf of Tonkin during the Vietnam War. We tied up alongside the USS Razorback at one time in the South China Sea, and we had steaks and some unmentionable drinks, which I won't go into that.